children and CSU athletes. All this and more tonight on CTV News. Good evening and welcome to our last CTV News show of the semester. I'm Stephanie Walters.
And I'm Bryn Carmen. Thanks for joining us tonight. The wind has been absolutely crazy this week, with the highest wind speed in Fort Collins reaching over the 40-mile-per-hour mark.
But weather anchor Jackie Wilson is saying that relief might be in store. She's in the Weather Center right now. Jackie, how's it looking out there?
Thank you, Steph, and hello, Rams. I'm Jackie Wilson here for the last CTV weather report of the semester. And Steph and Bryn, you're absolutely right. I think we all know that the talk of the town has been this incredible wind that's really bringing down these beautiful sunny days, which had such potential. In fact, this past week has been steadily blowing around 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds, with gusts reaching into the 50s. So anyone who made it through that wind vortex under Yates Hall, I commend you. Now, right now outside the studio, we're seeing about 54 degrees, so it is a warm temperature, and that wind speed is coming in from the northwest at about 11 miles an hour, so it has died down a little bit from earlier today. So be prepared for a relatively chilly night. However, our lows are dipping down into the 30s. Right now, we're sitting at 38 tonight in Fort Collins for our low. Same here in Denver, and the Springs we're seeing 36. Of course, a little chillier over in the mountains here in Vail. And Sterling, we're sitting at 34 tonight. Now, tomorrow, we will be continuing to see these little slight breezes, but the good news is the wind seems to be letting up just in time for this gorgeous weekend. So taking a look at the winds, you can see that here in our region in Fort Collins, we're going to be seeing about 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds. As we go down the state, however, 10 here in Denver, and even further decreasing down in Puebla at 5-mile-an-hour winds. And these breezy winds won't hurt us too badly, as Friday we see that we'll have highs in the 70s here in Fort Collins. 75 is going to be our high tomorrow. 73 here in Denver, and all along the I-25 corridor, we're going to be seeing 70-degree temperatures. Gunnison is going to be sitting at 62, and over on the eastern plains, we're seeing 71 in Lyman and 75 in Burlington. Like I mentioned earlier, we're in for some reprieve from this awful wind. Let me show you what you can expect in the next 5 days. Friday is going to be partly cloudy with that little bit of a breezy wind, 75 degrees. Saturday, beautiful sunny skies, 77, with our lows dipping down into the 40s for the night. And moving along through the week, that trend is kind of going to continue. Our highest temperature is going to be that Sunday. A little bit breezy, but we'll be at 82 degrees, so that might actually be helpful. And then moving along to Monday, we're seeing 77 and 73 on Tuesday with a 10% chance of precipitation. So as you can expect, those cloudy skies just a little bit, but it is only 10%, so not too much to worry about. That's all the weather I have for you tonight and for the semester. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you back for all your weather updates in the fall. Back to you, Steph.
4 Colorado higher education institutions are currently under investigation for mishandling sexual violence and harassment complaints. The higher education schools that are being questioned include CU Boulder, CU Denver, University of Denver, and Regis University. Police say that these schools may not be following federal law that prohibits discrimination based on gender. Schools that violate this federal law and do not investigate sexual violence cases can lose federal funding. They could also receive further action from the U.S. Department of Justice. So far, police have not released specific details about the sexual harassment cases at these schools.
A Fort Collins has been convicted of raping a teenager after a night of drinking. The sentencing comes 2 years after the event, which occurred in the fall of 2012. Dennis Harris was a bartender at Yeti in Old Town Square. He is sentenced to 5 years in prison. He was also charged on 2 accounts of providing alcohol to a minor. The judge in this case says there is a possibility he could be in jail longer, depending on his behavior within the Department of Corrections.
Fort Collins is looking to update and renovate Old Town Square, and the city wants the people of Fort Collins to get involved. There's a meeting on Friday at the Old Town Square kiosk, and it starts at 4 in the afternoon. The city says that design planning of the square will begin this year along with plans of renovation, but construction isn't expected to start until 2015.
Well, Rems, unfortunately, it's that time of year again. Time for finals. Dead Week is next week, and the library has extended its normal hours. The library will be open all next week, Monday from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., and these hours will be the same for finals week. On the weekends, the library will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Saturdays and 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Sundays. As usual, the study cube will be open 24 hours a day for students with a valid student ID. Although everyone is cramming hard at the library, there are still a few things to look forward to. Last night at exactly 10 o'clock, CSU's a cappella group, The Ramblings, performed at a flash mob for everyone studying in the library. The Ramblings might surprise you on another night in the library, so keep your ears open. You can check The Ramblings on their Facebook page for more information on when and where they will perform next.
Today at the Westminster Presbyterian Church, the CSU Women's Association sponsored a fashion show that raised money for student scholarships. The Colorado State University Women's Association has been in existence for over 100 years and have over 150 members who are associated with CSU. This year, the association held a fashion show sponsored by Dress Barn and also sold cookbooks and jewelry.
We raise money for scholarships for CSU students, and this year we're going to be giving 6 $2,500 scholarships. That's the most we've ever given in 1 year, so we're really excited about that. That'll be for this fall, the 2014-15 school year.
The Colorado State University Women's Association has given over $250,000 in scholarships to CSU students since 1979.
To meet the recipients is the most wonderful part of it. We can see where our money is going, and we have a luncheon in the fall in November that recognizes the recipients.
22 scholarships will be awarded this year, and selection is done through the Office of Student Financial Services. Applications are now being accepted and will be reviewed for a couple more weeks. To apply, visit csu/wa.colostate.edu.
I don't know about you, Steph, but I'm really bummed I missed the Ramblings last night.
I saw them last year, and it was so awesome. They did such a great job.
That's awesome. I hope they come back next week because everyone's going to be cramming in the library.
I have a feeling they definitely will.
Good.
Well, Ram Jam is an opportunity for children to meet their favorite CSU athletes. CTV got an inside look.
Plus, the Avs unfortunately fell to the Minnesota Wild last night. Sports anchor Patrick Enslow has more on the game. We'll be right back.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Ram Jam was quite the hit last night for all the Fort Collins kids in attendance and CSU student athletes. Let's take a look.
Fans of all ages, welcome to Ram Jam 2014.
CSU held the 18th annual Ram Jam last night, and it sure was a hit for kids and athletes. The free event in Moby was hosted by CSU Athletics for kids in the Fort Collins community, giving them a chance to play games and interact with CSU student athletes.
I don't know, I just hope they have fun. I don't know, it seems like they're like learning sports, maybe picking which ones they like and stuff, so.
Kids were given a free t-shirt and they were able to go to each varsity station, meet the athletes, and play games with them. In attendance this year were men's and women's basketball, tennis, volleyball, track and field, and cross country. Kids were able to get their favorite players' autographs and even receive some tips and pointers from the athletes on how to improve their skills.
It's special, I think, for the kids to see their favorite athletes in maybe a different context when they're not playing. It also is a chance for some of the sports that don't have as large of a fan base to expose themselves a little bit more. And
as much as the kids enjoyed this exciting night, the athletes may have loved it even more.
I have a wonderful time. I did it last year, just interacting, giving autographs, talking to parents and kids, just coming up to me asking for an autograph, just talking, saying, hey, you're my favorite player. It's just terrific. I love kids, I love being around them, and I love helping out. So I'm always looking forward to something like this.
All the athletes had fun playing around with the kids and expressed gratitude for coming to their games and being their biggest fans.
We really appreciate their support, and so that they can come to more events and really know who you are as people instead of just like the player on the court.
The athletes in attendance even had a few words of wisdom for kids who attended the event and are pursuing sports.
They have to work at it. I know they love to play around, maybe play a few sports, play 2 or 3 like myself, so after events like this, they're excited.
This year's Ram Jam event brought over 800 kiddos plus their families for a fun night out playing with their role models. Ram Jam is an annual event that not only gives kids the opportunity to play sports with their favorite CSU athletes, it also gives the athletes a chance to meet some of their biggest fans. Patrick Enzo has all the latest Rams sports updates, and the Avs are unfortunately out of the playoffs.
And CSU isn't exactly known for its lumberjacks, but one team is recognizing the sport of logging. You won't want to miss this.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to CTV. Logging is not a traditional sport, but CSU actually has a logging team. CTV reporter Keith Albertson got an inside look.
The Colorado State University logging team is not the most exclusive club on campus. Its small size is merely a reflection of how few students actually know about it. Junior art major Cisco Fonestock discovered the team through his friend.
I was just hanging out with my friends one time, and he mentioned that he was on the logging team. I thought that was pretty weird.
It's been a while since I've done any shopping.
He said that he was on it and that he was going to be the captain pretty soon, so I figured, oh, well, if he's going to be the captain, it might be worth checking out. So talked to him, came to a practice, and fell in love with it from there. So I've been on here for about a year now.
Cisco turned out to have a knack for many of the events, despite virtually no prior experience. So how did his friend Jake Wilaskevich know he'd be a good fit for the team?
I don't know, he's kind of born and raised in a more rural part, more of a woodsman than most, I'd say, so thought it'd be a nice fit.
And he was right.
It's a good atmosphere and also a lot of physical activity that isn't just like working out at the gym or something really repetitive. There's a lot of variety here.
Despite all of the variety, though, Cisco still found one event that he loves.
I like the pole climb. I've liked climbing since I was a little guy, so when I came here, I naturally steered myself that way. I mean, the other events are great too, like chopping's fun, chainsaw's fun, but I think that pole climb, which not a lot of people like doing, is my favorite, just because you get up high in the air and get to look everywhere.
And despite just 1 year on the team, he has found success in that event.
Now, he's a good climber. He's shown a lot of promise. He took 6th out at conclave, or regional conclave this year, so he's definitely shown some guns.
Cisco just can't believe how much he's learned in his limited time with the team.
Came in here knowing nothing, and now I can say I know just about, not everything, and God no, I'm not the best in everything or anything like that, but I do have general knowledge of everything, like how to fix the chainsaws and stuff like that, which I had no idea how to do beforehand.
Keith Albertson, CTV News.
Logging is one of the many various activities and sports offered at CSU. If you're interested in logging, you can go to the rec center and ask the front desk how to get involved. Sports anchor Patrick Enzo is here now.
Patrick, other than the logging, of course, what's up with CSU sports?
We got plenty on hand. We got softball, we got track, lots this weekend, but no hockey this weekend, unfortunately. After dropping 2 games to San Diego State last weekend, the CSU softball team looks to regain control of first place this weekend, facing the Fresno State Bulldogs on the road. CSU is 2-26 all-time against Fresno State. The Bulldogs currently sit atop the Mountain West, with the Rams only a game back. With 6 games left in the season, the Colorado Avalanche will not be getting ready to play this weekend after last night's devastating overtime loss to the Minnesota Wild. It was tied 2-2 going into the third period, as both teams scored 2 more to make it 4-4 going into overtime. The Wild will prove to be too much in overtime, with Nino Niedermeyer scoring on a 2-on-1 to win it. The Avs have racked up 3 previous victories in overtime, but they ran out of gas this time. This victory also made for the first time in the series that a road team has won. Thanks for joining us tonight and this semester on CTV News. Make sure you watch the entertainment show tomorrow night at 8.
We'll be back again next semester every weeknight at 8 p.m.
Good luck with finals, Rams, and we'll see you next time. Nice.